Do you lose time from work due to drinking? Yes. Is drinking making your home life unhappy? Yes. Have you ever felt guilt or remorse after drinking? Yes. Careless of your family's welfare? Yes. Is drinking jeopardising your job or your business? Yes. Complete loss of memory as a result of drinking? Yes. And have you ever been to a hospital or institution because of your drinking? Yes. Ding, 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 ding. Alcoholic. So I grew up in Greenwich, South East London, in a very loving household, and I don't think I ever wanted for anything. Being the ginger kid has its own issues. I was a really shy, quiet kid, and I dressed differently to put walls up to keep people at bay as a defence mechanism.
How did you meet Ben?
We met drunk in a pub. It was really weird with his drinking, though, because it would really switch. Like, we would be out and it'd be fine. And I don't know, like, at some point, totally disconnect, and you couldn't have, like, a conversation with him anymore. It was all over the place. It gets a bit antagonistic sometimes. Like, what's the matter with you guy? Come on.
Your typical sort of drinking for me on a night out when I was frequenting the bars was anywhere between 15 and 20 pints of an evening, coupled with sort of 8 or 9 shots on top of that, trying to be the big bad guy that, you know, drinks loads, and that actually wiped me out and left me hospitalised on numerous occasions. And I would drink till blackout every time. Every time I drank, I think I drank till blackout. I remember my last drink like it was yesterday. The pubs weren't open yet. I struggled to try and find a drink beforehand, and I was literally sitting on the doorstep of the pub when they opened. And then it came to 11 o'clock at night, and I was getting woken up by a bus driver at the end of the bus route.
I remember calling his mum, saying, I've got no clue where Ben is. He's not answering. I don't know what's happening. And yeah.
I had untold missed calls on my phone. I had no way of getting home, so I had to phone my dad. And I broke down in the car, you know, I really did. Whenever I picked up a drink, I couldn't stop.
I don't know, I wanted to be with him, but I didn't want him to be with him like that. I wanted to be with him well and healthy and happy. It just went to a bit of an ultimatum. But I said, I walk with you, you go in. We do something, because, like, I'm not staying. I don't want to ruin my entire life just because you can't hold a drink and you've got this addiction and you can't control yourself. This is not fair. So, yeah.
On the Sunday, so the 1st of November, going to my first Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, and was able to actually say in that meeting, my name is Ben and I'm an alcoholic. When I first went to the meetings, I was seeking some sort of understanding of why I drank. I think, or continuing to go, I actually got more than what I bargained for. One of the things that really stays with me is one of the lines in the AA Big Book, and it talks about the boy whistling in the dark to keep up his spirits because he hasn't really found God. I saw other people recovering that had a higher power, and you gravitate towards the people that have got long-term sobriety. So in terms of my spirituality coming in, it was something that I felt that I wanted to explore properly. And that was something I really embraced, the idea of, well, let's go and find out what it is. One of the things that I saw a lot in Alcoholics Anonymous and in lots of different other recovery groups is that people put down a substance and pick up a religion or a God, especially in the Christian sense. And having obviously looked through the idea and the concept of Christianity, there was lots of things I saw at fault with it. I needed to find a higher power and a concept of what that was that worked for me and worked within my own concept of recovery. It's easy to explain, but it's really difficult to say in one word. So it was trying to find a word that described and defined what that was. And the word that I thought summed that up really well was Satanism. Once I discovered that the name for what I was a Satanist, I suppose that gave me a sense of freedom. My wings unfurled and off I sailed. So in terms of Satanism, there's 4 camps. The theistics that are basically reverse Christians, the atheists that believe in a literary devil, you have the agnostics that believe in Satan as a spirit, and then you have the last camp, the atheists or neurognostics that see themselves as a god. So I draw on all those concepts and I term myself a rational Satanist. So my alternative to belief in a higher power is the satanic concept that I am that higher power, I am that God. The answers that I seek come from within me. I have to live for now, you know. I mean, it's about putting you at the center. You are the God, you are the one that's in control. And that's what really clicked in and the penny dropped for me at that point. The process of my recovery has been something that I think it's been important to share. It was one of the reasons I actually ended up writing my book and starting the online satanic recovery meetings.
I discovered Ben's book about 6 years ago. I've been a Satanist for 10 years, and I needed Satanism to be incorporated into my recovery somehow. The problem for me was the step work. The 12 steps are based on God, and I could not get myself to do the steps because the word God is all throughout it. And if I don't believe in that God, how can I adapt to that? I needed Ben's book to open my mind to be able to see the steps in a different light.
It ended up being something that people were asking for. And I felt that it was something that I then had to try and do. When you get people saying, I picked your book up and it changed my life, like it saved my life. And I'm thinking, you know, I'm just one idiot, you know, that looks at things, you know, from a different perspective. And I didn't realise, in fact, how much that would affect other people.
Welcome to this Rational Satanic Recovery meeting for alcoholics and addicts working a 12-step recovery program.
My name is Jessica and I'm an addict. Jessica. And this is the Satanic Recovery Mission Statement. Satanic Recovery is a refuge for those who choose to follow a 12-step recovery framework without the confines of dogma or stigma.
But the reason why Satanism is the answer to me is it fortifies self. It makes you believe that you're worthy of being clean. You're worthy of a life worth living. It's all about self-awareness, self-respect, and nourishing your life and creating what you want it to be.
The magic of your book and the magic of this meeting is, since that pushed me to get through my 12 steps, I no longer have hate and contempt. I needed community, and that's what your book has given me.
I made what basically I wanted in a recovery book, to actually get people to understand and resonate on their level, rather than having a stumbling block for them to say, well, he had some good advice, but he's a Satanist and I'm not going anywhere near that. Is to say that, look at it from this perspective and you might find it easier. You know, you might find a slightly better way for you. Being present and with myself is comforting now, whereas before it was hell. You know, I couldn't cope with it, and I had to blank it out. You know, that was the only way I could get rid of those thoughts, was to drink. And now I embrace that solitude and I enjoy that solitude, and you know, I seek it out because I have to live for now. You know, the philosophy of Satanism is about rewarding the here and now rather than an imaginary afterlife. You know, I'm the center of it. You know, I am God because I am the master of my own reality. That's essentially what it is. It's about me putting me first.